Hi, everyone. Today, I want to share a new story with you. My name is Audrey. I've been married for just over a year, and I've worked hard to get my mother-in-law's approval, but it seems like all my efforts were in vain. One day, she said something to me. "I'm giving you back," she told me. Back? I asked, confused and shocked. But no matter how much I tried to stop her, my mother-in-law took me to my parents' house. My parents lived very close to my in-laws, just a few minutes away. When we got there, my mother-in-law shouted out the door, "Hey, come out." My father came out quickly. "Can I help you?" he asked. "I need to talk to you," my mother-in-law replied. "A talk? Let's do it inside." My father smiled and said. But my mother-in-law shook her head. "We can talk here." "I'm returning your useless daughter," she told him. Useless daughter? My father's face changed. He was clearly upset. "What do you mean by useless?" he asked. "I mean exactly what I said," she answered, as if it was obvious. "A wife with a $500 salary is defective," she added. Defective? My father's anger was clear, and I feared he would explode. But my mother-in-law didn't seem to notice and kept insulting me. "She can't do anything at home and doesn't make much money." "And now you want to return her?" my father asked, his voice tense. My mother came out then, but my mother-in-law didn't even look at her. "Yes, I'm returning her and you should take responsibility," she said. "I understand," my father replied. He looked at my mother and they both nodded. "Well then, we'll take responsibility and close the business," my father said firmly. "Close the business?" My mother-in-law was shocked. "Wait, what company are you talking about?" my father-in-law asked, looking confused. "You want us to take responsibility. It's the company we're talking about," my father said flatly. I sighed when I saw my father so angry. He was serious about this. Once he made up his mind, he always followed through, especially when it came to me because he loved me so much. Why is my father so devoted to me? It goes back to my childhood. I was very weak when I was young. I often got sick with a fever and had to stay in bed. I couldn't go to school much, and I didn't get to play with friends. My mom stayed by my side when I was sick, and my dad would often drop his work to take care of me. Maybe that's why my dad loved me even more than usual. My parents always took care of me. Being sick wasn't always bad. They bought me books, games, and other things to keep me busy while I was in bed. My older brother was jealous of me because I got so many things. My favorite thing was my father's old laptop. It was secondhand and probably not good for most people, but it was perfect for me as a kid. I used it to draw pictures, play games, and explore the internet. Since I was always in bed, the laptop opened up a whole new world to me. I can create my own world here, I thought. That's how my love for computers started. It began with simple drawings but grew into a passion for 3D graphics. I started learning illustration and computer graphics, which eventually led me to become a graphic designer. Even though I'm weak, I can manage this kind of work. After high school, I began working as a graphic designer from home. At first, it was tough. I was self-taught and didn't know much about the field. I didn't even know how to find work. Since my health isn't great and I can't commute to an office, working remotely was my only option. It wasn't easy, but I took on small jobs that I could finish at my own pace. I worked hard, and slowly more people started noticing my work. Some even returned for more, and soon I was getting regular clients. After 5 years, my work started gaining attention, and I finally felt a sense of accomplishment. That's when my father came to me with a request. "Do you want to make a commercial for a construction company?" he asked. It was an unexpected request. My father runs a local construction company that mostly does house remodeling now. The company only had 3 employees, my dad, mom, and brother. It was a well-known business in the neighborhood. "Are you sure you want me to do this? I'll be paid for the work, right?" I asked. "I'm asking because I think you have great taste in advertising," my dad said. I was flattered. It felt good to be recognized for my skills. I created an ad for the company that was used in a local newspaper and also made a website for them. Even though our company was small and local, it felt amazing when people told me, "I saw your ad," or "It's great." I couldn't stop smiling. The ad was also turned into posters that were displayed at the company's entrance and on community bulletin boards. I felt proud of myself, thinking, I can stand on my own now. My work was becoming well known in the community, and people started approaching me for help with their own advertisements. One day, an electrician from town came to see me. "Your daughter is a designer. Can you make ads for us?" he asked my father. "I'll ask Audrey about it," my dad replied. The electrician's business was an important partner to my father's company. They worked together on remodeling projects. I agreed to help, and after I finished the ad, the electrician was really pleased. He even brought me a gift to thank me. "I just wanted to thank you for the great work," he said. It turned out the person who came to thank me was Jeremiah, the electrician's son. He was a college graduate and helped out with the family business. "So, you're going to take over the business someday?" I asked. "Yeah, I plan to," he replied. "Then I guess we'll be friends for a long time," I said. "Definitely. Especially with someone as attractive as you," he said with a smile. I was taken aback. I'd never been in a relationship before, and the thought that he might be interested in me made me blush. We exchanged personal contact information, and I felt so nervous I couldn't sleep that night. Jeremiah and I started talking more and more. We'd share stories about our day, hobbies, and interests. Eventually, we began dating. However, because of my health and our different schedules, we couldn't have a typical relationship. I couldn't travel far for dates, and Jeremiah's job often kept him busy, even on his days off. Still, I didn't mind. Even though we couldn't do normal couple things, I was happy with the connection we shared. We stayed in touch by phone and messages, growing closer even while I lay in bed with fevers. That's how our love blossomed, and we got married. A few years later, I moved in with Jeremiah. At first, his parents were kind. My mother-in-law said, "Just do light housework, only what you can handle." I agreed. His father even asked, "When you have time, could you make some traditional pop-up cards for me?" I said I would. But over time, my mother-in-law began unloading more chores on me. "I'm out of town, can you watch the store?" she'd ask. I reminded her I was working too. She told me to stay at the counter and work there. I brought my laptop and tried to juggle both jobs. Then his father asked, "Can you make us a website?" Although I wasn't an expert, I agreed. Soon, every visit turned into a list of tasks: cleaning, cooking, laundry, and minding the store. I had no time for my own design work, so my income fell. Jeremiah supported me financially, so I wasn't worried about money. But the real problem was being treated like a maid. Exhausted, I caught a fever one day and told my mother-in-law I needed to rest. She snapped, "You're getting sick over that?" Then, almost casually, "Fine, go lie down," and she left. I lay in bed crying, feeling alone. Jeremiah found me and gently asked, "Are you okay?" I explained how his parents forced me into chores. He looked puzzled. "Why didn't you just say no?" I tried to explain that refusing them might cause trouble, maybe even divorce, so I never did. When I recovered, I cut back on my design work to keep the peace with my in-laws. Then one day, my mother-in-law asked, "How much are you earning now?" I gave her the truth. About $500 a month. She turned red with anger. "Only $500? And you barely do housework," she accused. I pointed out that I did all the cooking, cleaning, and store work. Furious, she ran to her husband and dragged me back to my parents' house, declaring, "I'm returning you." In front of my father, she said she wanted me back. He simply replied, "I'll close my construction company." When her husband protested, my dad said, "We have other clients." Her husband shrugged, "Do what you like." With that, they left. My mother-in-law sneered, "Useless wife. Don't bother returning." I stood in shock, and my dad gently asked if I was okay. I wondered whether to divorce Jeremiah, and my father reluctantly agreed. I waited, but Jeremiah never came. After days, I got a text, "Let's get divorced." I pleaded, but he didn't reply. His lawyer called to confirm his parents had pressured him into it. I accepted the divorce and the alimony. My marriage, under a year, was over, and my dad's company shut down. But then my brother took over Dad's business under the same name and location, cutting ties with Jeremiah's family. This hurt their electrical business badly. Rumors spread, and people avoided them. My brother's company gained clients instead. The next summer, air conditioners started getting vandalized, outdoor units smashed, at homes my brother had remodeled. He gave free intercoms with video recording to his clients. 3 days later, the culprits were caught on camera, Jeremiah's parents. They had destroyed the units to drum up repair work. The police arrested them for the scheme. When the news broke, Jeremiah's family business collapsed. Jeremiah himself ended up working on demolition sites to pay fines. I even heard it from an electrician at my brother's firm. I felt some sympathy for Jeremiah, but I was relieved to be done with that world. Now I focus on my graphic design work and help out at my brother's office. I can work at my own pace, and best of all, no meddling in-laws. My only problem now is my dad, who's retired and always asks, "Are you tired? Are you okay?" But I don't mind. After everything, I'm happy to have my family by my side. Life isn't always fair, and sometimes the people we trust most can let us down. But in those moments, we have the power to rise. Through challenges, we find our strength, and through pain, we learn to rebuild. The journey might be tough, but with the right people by your side, happiness isn't just a dream. It's something you can create. So, keep moving forward, because your story is yours to tell, and it's never too late for a new beginning.